What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back, and today we're looking at Charlie Chill, A Rabbit Hole of Evil from Kiwi Tapes. So, Charlie Chill is Angry Grandpa's son. I believe this is his first son, Charles Green Jr. So, we're going to watch this. Apparently, I used to watch Angry Grandpa back in the day, and I would see him go in and out of videos. I never understood because one time to be, oh, this is my brother, this is Charlie, this is my son, whatever. And the next moment would be like, no mention of him at all, just gone. So we're going to see how this is, and man, this is going to be evil.
Charles Marvin Green III, also known as Charlie Chill, was born on December 2nd, 1982. While you may not initially recognize Charles Marvin Green III, you might recognize his father, known widely across the internet as the Angry Grandpa.
Yeah.
You might also recognize his younger brother, Michael Green, also known as Kid Behind a Camera. When someone...
And Pickle Boy. And from what I've heard, this whole family, there are issues that are dark and absolutely disgusting. So you got Charlie here. You got Michael, who I believe started dating Bridget when she was like 16 or 17, and he was in his 20s, which says a whole lot of stuff there. Angry Grandpa, in his later years, was chill. He was cool, but there was some really racist stuff he used to do back in the day, and then he would threaten his kids with physical abuse. There's a whole lot of list that you can go down. But yeah.
First recommended I look into Charlie Chill for a video, I expected drama and rage. But I did not expect how utterly depraved this story would get. Being one of the darkest I have covered on the channel, without a doubt. And as someone who grew up watching
Tina.
the Angry Grandpa show, seeing this guy in numerous videos that I had watched while I was a kid, it is even more so shocking to learn what he has done. And I feel like the best way to understand everything is to go in chronological order. Even though Charlie made his first appearance on the Angry Grandpa show back in 2013, it's 2015 where things really start to get interesting. In 2015, Charlie didn't have a job, he was homeless, and he owed money and child support for his one daughter, having nowhere else.
Yeah. And from what I understand, he also has some substance problems as well. But you can tell, like, the different images we've already seen of Charlie, there's transformations that happen. Like, he physically changes in the face.
To go, he decided to move in with his father, the Angry Grandpa. Angry Grandpa would say all that Charlie did was sit in his room, get drunk, and play GTA 5.
Oh,
he
sounds
wouldn't
like DSP.
help out around the house like he promised, he wouldn't get a job, and it seemed like his only interest was creating his own YouTube channel to piggyback off of the success of his father and
That really
brother.
sounds like DSP.
Things would continue like this for a while, until August 2016, when Charlie was sent to jail for unpaid child support. This was not his only brush with...
Yeah, so two things you should be paying in life. One is mandatory. One, pay your taxes. Don't be like Wesley Snipes and go to jail because you don't pay your taxes. Two, if you're going to have kids, even if it's an accident, you have to make sure you are financially supporting those kids. Especially depending on the women that you're with when you have those kids. Because they could come after you over and over. If you can't afford it, go to the courts, show them your income, and say, this is what I make per month, this is what I can afford. Now at the same time, if you go to the courts and they go, okay, so you don't have a job, you're not looking for a job, you get high, you get drunk all day and play video games, they're going to make you get a job. And then make you pay child support.
The law. Back in 2001, he had broken into a home and got arrested for it. In 2014, he was arrested once again for a hit and run and drug paraphernalia. And then, of course, this arrest for unpaid child support in 2016.
So
in November of that same year...
So he's got drugs. He got convicted for drugs and breaking and entering. this is not a good start to this. If this is the tamest stuff, because typically what happens in these documentary style videos is they'll do the tamest things with a hint of what the evil stuff is, and then put the evilest stuff near the end. So, damn, if that's the tamest stuff.
He would be released from jail and return home to Grandpa's, where the same kind of behavior continued. He wouldn't get a job. He wouldn't help out around the house.
Of course, he's got a free
He would
ride
just
there.
Sit around
Free
all
room and
day,
board.
using various drugs and drinking alcohol. We would not know until much later.
Now, keep in mind, too, from what I remember, in that household was Angry Grandpa, there was Michael, Pickle Boy, and Charlie, but there was also his sister's kids also live with him. So, I've not seen this video, but when you have a drug addict, an alcoholic, someone who does breaking and entering, and you have young kids that probably are impressionable by that point, that's not a good combination.
That Charlie was also forcing these types of substances onto the children who were living with Grandpa. And
oh my god. I just say that, and then this comes up. Like, you gotta be a lowlife, a absolute POS to give kids drugs or alcohol. Especially, I believe he said he forced it on them, right?
Alcohol. We would not know until much later
Did he
that
say he
Charlie
forced?
was also forcing these types of substances on.
Yeah, so he forced drugs and alcohol onto kids. Like, that's one of the lowest things you could ever do, other than, you know. I can't say it because of YouTube's, but let's just say, if you do EDP stuff,
onto the children who were living with Grandpa.
That's the worst
thing. And it wouldn't be until months later that they would reveal this was all occurring around this time. Here's a clip of them talking about how Charlie would threaten them into consuming these things.
He gave me something to smoke.
that is a really young kid too.
I don't know.
But something to smoke. And how old are you?
9, 10, I mean.
So he's 10 years old. So Charlie, and he says smoke. I'm assuming it's weed. So a 10-year-old smoking weed. Even if it's cigarettes, that's really bad as well. And I don't understand this too. So Michael always has to document his life. Whether it's real, whether it's staged. Because 98% of his content is staged. But when you get to a point where you find out your brother is forcing drugs and alcohol on your nephews or whatnot, why would you film it? This is something you take care of behind the scenes. This is something you do off camera. This is not something you record and then show people on the internet. Like, imagine this kid, when he grows up and he sees video of himself talking about how his uncle forced him to smoke weed and drink and all that. Imagine how this kid's gonna feel, all the trauma that comes back. Because what if all that trauma just goes out the brain and he forgets about it? The trauma just pushed past him. And then this triggers something where it unlocks all that stuff again.
Give him something to smoke. Did he give you anything else?
Yes.
What?
Beer,
How you know it's beer?
because he told me that.
So he willingly did that.
Do you remember that day that your nose was busted and we were giving you stuff?
No. Please don't tell me he hit the kids too. Because this gets even worse if he's forcing them to drink or do drugs or whatever. But if he's physically hitting them as well, that's an even lower low.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
When me and Jake was playing outside, and then he came outside and to the door.
Who's he?
When I was playing with my brother Jacob.
Yeah, but who's he? Who did it to you?
Charlie.
I also
So he
forgot
hit
to
him-
mention that he hit another kid and threw him into a door.
Oh my god. This is already making me sick. Like, first of all, it's absolutely disgusting if you ever hit a kid. especially when you throw them into a door, you bust their nose open, and their blood and comes out and whatnot. At the same time, don't videotape all this, Michael. This is one of the reasons people don't like you. Like, yes, it got exposed, but at the same time, that's traumatizing to the victims as well.
Like I said previously, at this point in the timeline, Michael and Grandpa had no idea that Charlie had pushed these substances onto a kid. Out of fear, they would hide this information until months later when Charlie messed up big time.
Wait. They hid the information.
Pushed these substances onto a kid. Out of fear, they would hide this information until months later when
So, if I'm reading this correctly, they find out that the brother here is forcing drugs and alcohol on the kids, physically assaulted them, throwing them in the doors, busting their nose, and then out of fear, they decide to hide that information. Are you kidding me? Like, you have a person like that in the house, you get them out of the house. You call the police, you do whatever you have to do. Like, you're putting those kids' lives at risk there. Even your own. Even Grandpa's and Michael's. Even Bridget's. Like, you should be cutting off all ties. You should be kicking him out. Next time he leaves, lock the doors, get his stuff out, call the police, tell him what's happening, and he's gone. But it's absolutely disgusting that you cover this up and you keep him in the house with those kids in. Like, this is absolutely disgusting.
Charlie messed up big time. But despite that, Grandpa had had enough of him sitting around and
okay, thank you. They're getting rid of him then.
In this whole time after being released from prison, he hadn't even tried to get a job. And when Grandpa threw him out, he had to couch surf for a couple of days.
Okay. So I give him credit there. He did throw him out. However, they said it was months later when he messed up. So even though they had all that information, they knew everything was happening, they hid the information, and only when he messed up again, he kicked them out. That is not good.
Until he manipulated his brother Michael into letting him live at his pool house. Michael at this point had made millions of dollars off of the Angry Grandpa show. He had a very nice house with a pool and...
So, Angry Grandpa kicked him out. He was couch surfing, and then he somehow manipulated his brother into letting him back in. So if it was me, and my brother, I knew he was doing that, and he was kicked out, I would not even talk to him. He would not come anywhere near me, my house, the rest of my family. The fact that you let him back in, Michael, is absolutely disgusting.
Of course, a pool house, which was the size of many people's regular homes. Charlie would stay there, and him and Mike would make content together for a couple of weeks. During this time, Charlie's...
Michael, you know that person's doing stuff to your nephews, and you want to make content, so the almighty dollar is worth more to you than your nephew's health. That says a lot about your character, Michael.
Level of paranoia skyrocketed. He would rip apart the pool house looking for so-called speakers that Michael had planted.
Yeah, he got paranoid because he's hopped up on drugs.
Leading many to speculate that Charlie was abusing drugs.
Yeah.
This would be
Tweakers
confirmed
love them a
when
good
on
couch
June
cushion.
29th, 2017, one of the most infamous events in the Angry Grandpa show's history would occur. It is known as the LSD incident, and it all started when one day Michael returned home to find Charlie completely out of his mind. Not only had he stripped naked and was jumping into the pool, but one of his fingers was charred black from being burnt. After trying to calm Charlie down and realizing that he was in some kind of drug-induced psychosis, They decided to call the police, and when
Finally.
they arrived, this footage was taken.
Like, finally! Like, after all this time, everything he's done, you just now call the police.
Don't want to fucking leave.
And of course, he's recording this again.
No. Michael, is this your
Now-
house? Is this your...
I get it. You want to record this so it's evidence against him. I get that. But at the same time, if you want to use this as evidence, don't post it online. I wonder if he monetized this. I hope not. But at the same time, like, you want to collect evidence on him, that's fine. Don't post this or show this on the internet.
property? They're gonna tase you if you act like this. What have I done? You destroyed the pool house. You got in my face and started screaming at me when I tried to bring you something to eat. We did that. I'm not talking about no fake videos. I'm talking about an hour ago when I tried to bring you something
He called
to
his
eat, you tried
videos
to
fake.
launch at me. Alright, let's go. You know what? I respect my brother. I'm not trying to. Michael, I'm scared. I'm scared to death of you right now, bro. Come and give me a hug, man. Please don't do that.
Is he still naked asking for a hug now?
They're not trying to take you to the police. They're taking you to the hospital. Your hands fucked up.
So he's getting a physical and mental
All
evaluation.
my shit out on the fucking internet.
How? When?
You're the one that put my shit. Your fucking father, the goddamn fucking cousin.
You are
I'm
a
gonna put it
drug
all out.
addict. Do it. Do it.
I'm gonna
Can
put
I
it
press
all
charges
out.
for brazen that pool house, please?
Yeah, this is real.
Yeah, he's getting a mental evaluation probably too. It's amazing what drugs can do. Somebody just completely change them or bring up personality
Not
of
only
them.
did Charlie have this massive meltdown in front of Michael and his neighbors, but also to the viewers of his YouTube channel. In this drug-induced psychosis, he uploaded...
What does that say? Can't touch me, saggy pants. I know haggy, saggy, tits start you. Fuck haggy. Come at me, Mr. Man. 31k view, 24k, 20k, 31k. Jesus. Charlie, chill. Let's do this.
uploaded a number of illicit videos to his channel, resulting in a swift strike. As you heard in the video, he was taken off to the hospital for evaluation. His hand was treated, he was given drugs to sober up, and he was released that night.
Oh, that's
For
lovely.
some unknown reason, he decided
He's
to
recording
return
again.
to Michael's house. And as soon as Michael's girlfriend Bridget saw him, they had a confrontation.
Get out, that bitch!
Yeah.
Fuck out, then, you stupid stink!
Yeah, for one thing, if you know he's released, you see him there, I wouldn't be outside with him. I would be on the other side of the door. I would lock it. You want to scream at him, you want to record him, fine, for evidence. But don't be somewhere where you can be physically around him. Especially someone who's angry, drugged up, and
Oh,
whatnot.
so bad! Oh no, I'm fucking fat!
Bella, you fat
And you're fucking homeless!
That's why you look.
You're stupid
That's
and
why-
fucking homeless!
That's why-
You're
He's still got his
stupid
medical
alcoholic.
bracelet on.
Your cousin?
Charlie, who was now completely sober, struck Bridget in the face multiple
Oh, God.
times. Seeing his girlfriend being beat on, Michael approached Charlie for a fight, where
Yeah, so, Mike, this could all been avoided is after you found out he was forcing the kids to do drugs and drink and all the other stuff. If you would have cut him out of your life, get him out of there, call the police, whatever, a lot of this, whatever's remaining from this, could have been avoided. Like, if you think about it, Mike, instead of hiding the evidence out of fear, just cut him out of your life. It's easy as that. I get it, he's family, but at the same time, he's a monster, Phil. I almost called you Phil. He's a monster, Mike.
Charlie proceeded to pick up a piece of broken mirror and threatened to cut Michael with it. All of this would result in Charlie's fourth arrest, as Bridget and Michael were adamant about pressing charges.
I would too.
A couple days later, Charlie was released and he would make his first apology video,
His
blaming
first.
all of his actions on the drugs, even though he hit Bridget when he was sober, and denies that the assault even happened.
Unless he took drugs after he got
Charlie
released.
checking in here.
Doesn't excuse
Sorry,
anything though.
everybody, man, everything that went down, it's my fault. It's true. I went out. I partied. I came home. I destroyed all my stuff, man. Dang.
It wasn't your stuff, it was Michael's stuff.
Man, and this is my consequences, man. I didn't hit nobody. I promise you that. I did not, guys. I really don't know what else to say, man. I'm here at the bottom.
Well,
now.
he got arrested for that.
And maybe I do deserve it, guys. And I just want to let you all know, man, that I want to apologize for letting you all down, man. And I want to try to do everything I can to try to make it better and come back.
This
a better
guy is a
person.
monster.
So, that's it.
This is a reoccurring theme when it comes to Charlie. He will often mess up and often blame it on drug or alcohol abuse. But it's like I say with Only Use Me Blade. If you know that you're a monster when you take these substances
Exactly.
and you still take them, then you have a hand in it.
Yeah, because there's a difference between acknowledging what is wrong, what the problem is, and then continuously to do it, rather than acknowledging the problem and going, I'm going to better myself, these are my steps, I'm getting away from that. There's a difference between learning and actually practically applying what you learned.
You are actively making the choice to consume something that you know will turn you into a danger to your friends and family. His poor excuses run very thick in the mind of Charles Green III, but they were not enough to convince his brother Michael and Bridget to drop the charges as well as let him back into their lives. And upon telling the rest of the family what Charles had done...
Yeah, finally, I get Angry Grandpa, that's your son, but you gotta look at it, he's a monster. At least Bridget and Michael are like, okay, this is a breaking point. We can't have him in our lives. He's dangerous. He's just going to keep doing this. We got to cut him out. We got to press charges. I give you props for that, Mike and Bridge.
A veritable floodgate of stories from the past began to be told. Many of the people who had been victimized by Charlie kept quiet out of fear. Not only the kids who he gave drugs and alcohol to, but also his two sisters, who would come forward with some harrowing stories from their childhood. Stories of Charlie and his friend doing absolutely unspeakable things to them.
No. See, as someone who has a sister, I hate to hear stuff like this, and oh my god, why, Charlie? Please, I'm really hoping the thing that he's about to say is not the thing that's going to happen. Please tell me you did not do what I think you did, Charlie.
Now that the LSD incident had occurred and Charles was shunned from the family, his sisters felt safe
He's
enough
filming
to
it
come
again.
forward with the truth.
You have the work, all this stuff. Don't film this. Don't film this.
At least Michael's like, don't
No, I
film
want
this.
Film. This is too much. No, they need to know what kind of guy he really is. Just don't.
Okay. I will give Michael credit for this. He even said, this is a line, we don't film this. So I will give him credit for that. Angry Grandpa, as a father, is angry. And the reason he wants this film is because he wants the world to know what kind of monster Charlie is. Especially what, I'm guessing that's Jennifer. Like, you can tell she's traumatized, and this might be a very disturbing thing that comes out.
Sister, if I'd known I had you, I'd have took care of him good. But you try to protect your kids, man, but if you don't know what's going on, you...
Kim just told us, and then now Jennifer, that Charles and one of his friends forced themselves onto both of my sisters.
When I told you...
No. Oh my god, this guy is a monster. I didn't know it was this bad. Like, I knew in the past he had substance problems. So I was like, okay, he's a drug addict. Whatever, he got arrested for it. I didn't know how dark and deep this hole went. Like, this is actually disturbing me. I don't think I'm going to be able to sleep tonight.
That this is one of the darkest things I've ever covered on my channel.
Yeah, it's absolutely disgusting.
I'm not lying. You expect your older siblings to keep you safe, to set a good example. Instead,
yeah, he's
Charlie
the oldest
did what
too.
He did. I remember all of this drama going down back.
Yeah, because remember, he said he never hit Bridget, but look at that. So it's possible that he's so drugged out in his mind, he's had so many drugs, that his memory is just shot. Like, he's abusing women, he's forcing alcohol and drugs on the kids, he forced himself and his friend onto his sisters. Like, this man is pure evil. It's absolutely disgusting.
In the day, I knew that he had assaulted Bridget, but until I had researched this video, I did not know that detail. Of course, after all of this was revealed, Charlie was swiftly excommunicated from the family.
Finally!
And he would go off on Twitter against Michael and the angry grandpa, and flat out admitting that what he had done to his sisters was true.
He admitted
in
to it?
2017, the angry grandpa's health was failing. He had a number of medical health problems,
yeah, this was really sad, I remember.
cirrhosis of the liver. And when the angry grandpa was in the hospital because of this, Charlie would make Twitter posts talking about how he wished angry grandpa would hurry up so
disgusting.
that he can shit on his grave, blaming all of the trouble that he was facing now, both legal and personal, on Michael and the angry.
Oh my god, he's one of these people that can't accept that he's the problem. Like, all this stuff, Charlie, is your fault. You force yourself onto your sisters. You force those kids to do drugs and drink alcohol. You're the one that's forcing yourself to take drugs and freak out and break the law and break and enter and all these other stuff. How is that anyone else's fault? See, he's got the same mentality of DSP where no matter what I do, it's someone else's fault. Charlie is just like DSP as well as the eternal victim.
Grandpa. This angered one of Michael's friends, a man named Isaac, who began to make videos about Charlie's crimes and call him out on Twitter. Once Charlie caught wind of what Isaac was doing, he would make this video, threatening Isaac and inviting him to his house for a fight.
Of course.
Hey, you know what? A fat boy
you criticize
wants to get
me,
there
I'll
and get on
kill
his
you.
live stream and sit there, blah 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 blah, blah 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 blah. He wants to run his fucking mouth. He wants to bump his fucking gums and say he's gonna do this, that, and the third. Isaac, I give you permission to come to my house, bro. Now this is me putting it out here for the whole fucking world. I'm calling Isaac out. I will beat Isaac's fat motherfucking ass.
Anyone criticize me, I want to fight them.
So long,
how dare you
now
criticize
you
me?
got the fucking beast Charlie in your motherfucking face, and you gonna get on fucking Twitter. You gonna get on your YouTube and shit. You ain't gonna jump in your fucking car like you did last time.
So Isaac immediately jumps in his car, like last time, and drives
and they
to
filmed
Charlie's
it again.
new location, taking
that
him
could have
up
been
on
for
the
the
offer
safety, though.
that Charlie so graciously extended.
He looks like
but as
Tipster.
usual, Charlie is all talk and no action.
I can't hear you. You don't want no trouble. Didn't you say he's gonna whoop my ass?
So he's crying like a bitch and walking away.
You're gonna call the cops.
So
I say he's gonna whoop my ass.
yeah, so he's like, oh, you come over here, I'm gonna whoop your ass. How dare you? You want to go talk big, whatever. Come over here, see how it goes. And then he comes over there. He goes to the door. Charlie cries, threatens to call the cops. Oh my god, he's something.
Didn't you threaten my family? Well, I'm here.
Don't let Isaac's Discord mod physique fool you. He
Discord
towers
mod
over
physique.
Charlie. And even if Charlie wasn't an utter coward, I don't think that's a fight he could win. You see, Charlie's whole thing is victimization of the weak. He is, in the truest sense of the word, a bully, putting up the front
is right.
of some tough guy, not very well, might I add, while having the heart of a pure coward. Charlie threatened this man's family, he threatened him, and when he showed up looking for the smoke, Charlie didn't want none of it. A true testament of his character. Interactions like this would occur with Charlie for months to come until a pivotal event happened within the Angry Grandpa universe. In December of 2017, Grandpa dies, and Charlie is allowed back into the family
Why?
for the funeral, and in the...
I would not let him there. I'm just saying. Even though he's family, all the things he's done to his nephews, his sisters, his brother, like, what is the line where you just cut him off? Like, what is the line?
Spirit of forgiveness. It seemed like everyone except...
Forgiveness for forcing himself on his sisters. Forgiveness for forcing alcohol and drugs on the nephews. Forgiveness for assaulting and beating up Bridget. Forgiveness? Are you serious?
For his two sisters, welcomed him back just fine. Michael even going so far as to...
What about his sisters?
In the spirit of forgiveness. It seemed like everyone except for his two sisters welcomed him back just fine. Michael even going so far as to...
Fun fact, Mike started dating Bridget when she was underage. He claims he didn't know until she was 17. Wait. Mike started dating Bridget when she was underage. He claims he didn't know until she was 17. So that means she was younger than 17 while they were dating, like 15 or 16? Because I'm pretty sure there's like almost a 10-year gap between them. So he was in his 20s by that time. Oh, of course, we got McFucker Nuggets here.
To help Charlie boost his YouTube career, bringing him on collabs with YouTubers like McJuggernuggets,
of course,
Keemstar,
McFucker Nuggets will
and
be
Dame
here.
Drops. During this time, Charlie would remain publicly sober.
So, after everything there, he starts doing content with him again. Of course, the almighty dollar is there. Because remember, too, Michael is also the guy, when Angry Grandpa was about to die, decided to launch or get ready a Angry Grandpa merch line where it said, "Rest in peace, Angry Grandpa." Yeah, that tells you all about the character here.
And he would make amends with Bridget. It all seemed like somehow, some way, Charlie had gotten away with it. Until a night when Charlie would post a video of him clearly drunk. And after that video, he would go on a...
Yeah, I have a friend that'll fuck Tuna up if she wants to act like a food stamp boss, pass that along. Got my homie John with me, watching RR Ready. I'ma stand in front of Stink Bates' house like a G. I'm gonna vlog it. I'm guessing that's Tina, the angry neighbor.
Massive Twitter rant about a fellow Angry Grandpa cast member named Tina. Realizing that Charlie had relapsed, or perhaps never been sober at all, Michael decided to cut him out of his life once more. Michael referenced that it was Angry Grandpa's wish that Charlie be brought back into the family and forgiven, but also that Michael was to keep an eye on Charlie, and if it ever seemed like he would be a danger again, he was to cut him off. Michael would keep...
Okay. So, first of all, he's been in danger this whole time. So, this could all been avoided if at the very first time you found out about him forcing stuff on the kids out of their lives, call the police, get him out there. Don't ever talk to him again. That's the point in time where everything could have changed.
This promise to his father, and Charlie would never have the same access to the family again.
Finally.
After a couple of weeks of pleading with Michael,
look at his face
finally
just
sank
changing
in for Charlie, and resorting to his roots as an absolute scumbag, he made a live stream where he threatened Michael and Bridget explicitly. Here is a small clip from that.
Hear me, Michael? I'm not 100 miles away from you, dude.
Oh god, the
And I
PS4
know
music.
where you live. And you want to keep running your mouth? You want to keep acting up? Then I'm going to come to you while you sleep. You want to keep running your mouth?
Yeah, that's a threat right there.
You want to keep pushing people to the edge? I'm going to show you the edge. This is real life right here. This isn't YouTube. This isn't a skit. I could be at your house in 20 minutes. I can be at your house in an hour. I can be at your house in 1 hour.
In response to this threat, that was much more explicit
Yeah,
in the parts
that's a
that I
direct
had to cut
threat
out.
right there.
Kid behind a camera gives us a very rare Chad moment and posts this video to his Twitter.
Probably talking about killing me, and I'm over here like,
Yeah, egg on the person that just threatened you.
This is how unafraid
After
people
everything
are
he's
of
done
the
and
tough
said.
guy persona that he throws.
But then
up.
again, he did
Even
back away
kid
from
behind
Isaac.
a camera is not scared of your threats.
He didn't want to fight
And
Isaac,
you
he's not gonna
best
fight you.
believe that this response from Michael caused Charlie Chill to go on another Twitter meltdown. Charlie would constantly claim to have moved on from all the drama just to get back on Twitter to threaten Isaac, Michael, and Bridget. He would get progressively skinnier and more tweaked out.
Yeah, it's the drugs. Because he's one of those people who's like, I'm going to move on, but then threaten people. I'm going to move on, and then threaten people. It's the cycle some people go through where they think they're making progress, but they're just falling back into the cycle. And especially when you're drugged up, you have your demons take a hold of stuff. They run things for you. It gets scary aggressive.
Though the rest of his family had moved on from having him in their lives, it seemed like he could just not let go the fact that they wanted nothing to do with him, and especially the fact that they were doing so much better than he was. You see, Charlie would constantly have
look
to
at him
start
get skinnier
new
and skinnier.
channels because he would either get really messed up on some kind of drug and post illicit materials to them, or he would go live either threatening his trolls or Michael. Because of this kind of behavior, he went through
XLX Cornbread, Charlie Badfish, Charlie Chill. Trouble with YouTube. Yeah. Name your channel Trouble with YouTube. See how long that lasts. Termination. That's a weird one to call it. Charlie Travis. Reception. Slight uphill. Sharp downfall. So he had slight uphill and sharp downfall. Termination. So he had 2 termination. Travels together. The Outsiders. Isn't that the... No. It's very similar to the This Is How You Don't Play guy, but that's not the same one. The Outsiders. It's spelled differently. The Side Project. Travels together. The Outsiders. All capital. Travels together.
through almost a dozen channels over the years. But after one YouTube banning, he decided to move over to Twitch. And in
that's even
2019,
worse.
he would have one of his biggest meltdowns ever.
Anybody notice that? You see this layout? You know what that is? Does anybody know what this is? That is the integrated streaming from PlayStation 4. So basically what he did was he just hit broadcast, put his mic up, and this is it.
On live stream.
I hate that I know that.
Threatening his family, being about as egotistical as one could be, and at the end, exposing himself out of rage. All
What?
while he is playing a video game with children.
You are going down. Everybody already fucking knows it, bro.
So
I'm
how's
gonna
he
sit here and tell you that you're a piece
how's
of
he just
trash.
show himself?
And I'm gonna tell you that you're fucking rat suck and that you have never learned a goddamn fucking thing in this world because it was always just fucking given to you, little bastard. I think I'm a good looking guy, but I don't think just like women are just gonna throw themselves at me unless they have a reason to.
Oh,
You know,
God.
and Bridget's mom had a reason to throw herself at me because she was working for Michael. Because dude, I'm gonna stalk Michael. I'm gonna smack him in his.
Did he just imply that he fucked Bridget's mom? And that he kind of used his family influence to fuck her?
Fucking face one day. Within the next 2 weeks, Michael, I'm gonna smack you in your fucking face and you're gonna know what the fuck you done to me. Michael, you don't know when I'm coming, but it's coming. And I'm gonna take you somewhere special. I'm gonna help you see what I see. You wanna see my dick?
What? Oh my god. How do you go from a direct threat like that, like taking him to the woods or whatever, and drugging him up, to, you want to see my dick? And then him just showing his dick all over the camera. That's drugged out right there.
Suck my fucking ass.
This, of course, would result in his Twitch channel being banned.
Twitch is more strict than YouTube.
Not much else has happened in Charlie's life except for these behaviors repeating themselves. He's now married to a woman named Erica.
God.
That was whose house he was streaming
I feel so
from
bad for
on
her.
Twitch all day while she went out and worked. Something which Charlie still doesn't do. He relies on Erica and the couple dozen
She kinda
people
looks scared.
that actually believe that he's still innocent. Charlie today in 2023 claims that he's a changed man, and he is no longer Charlie Chill, when he's still displaying the exact same kind of behavior. He's still going on Twitter rants against Michael, Isaac, and Bridget.
Yeah. There's a phrase, you can polish a turd, but at the end of the day, it's still a turd. I'll just say that.
He still is drinking heavily, among using other things, and he still is mooching off just about anyone
Yeah,
he
so
can.
what exactly changed
Now,
there?
it's just his wife. The main reason I made this video today, and I stuck with making it, is because Charlie Chill wants all of this to be forgotten. He thinks that if he sells enough people the lie that he is a changed man, he can have somewhat of an online career still.
Yeah, no.
But don't be fooled.
No.
He's exactly the same.
He's a monster.
He's the same person that did what he did to his sisters.
Yeah. Certain things, you can't come back online. Like, doing that stuff to kids. Doing that stuff to your sister. All the drugged out stuff. Like, those are career killers. And there's certain things you can't come back from, and some people don't realize that, and they keep trying and trying and trying. At what point do you go, I'm done. It's over. I'm going to go get a real job. Of course, once you go to get a job, you start getting background checks and you start seeing all this.
That hit Bridget in the face and that gave drugs and alcohol to children. Charles Martin Green III is an absolutely detestable human being.
He's a monster.
One who I think is incapable
This is a real-life
of truly
monster.
changing. Only bouncing from place to place for as long as people can stand his scam. Charlie, on the off chance that you're actually watching this, your wife will get wise to this one day. And eventually, you will run out of people to mooch off of.
Yeah.
You can claim to have changed all you want, but your behavior says otherwise, and no one will ever forget what you have done. That's about all I have on Charlie Green today, guys. Thank you so much
absolutely
for watching.
disgusting.
I know it wasn't an easy
He's got the
watch.
angry grandpa
I'd
doll,
like to
by the
give a
way.
big shout out to the Copper Cabber. Many of the clips in this video can't be found anywhere else, and without him archiving so much of it, this video would not be possible. His channel will be in the link in the description below. Go show him some love, guys.
Yeah. So, absolutely disgusting. Like, this guy, you think about all the bad things you could possibly do in life, and this guy does majority of them. Like, it's heartbreaking because, you know, family is family, but at the end of the day, if a family member is a monster, you cut them off. You separate yourself from them. You have nothing to do with them. And that's what should have happened in the first place. As soon as you saw that stuff happening, excommunicated from family, don't talk to me, don't interact with me, you're gone, bye. But of course, Michael, he wants to document everything. He wants the almighty dollar. Because you saw he kept taking them back, kept making content with them, kicking them out, bringing him back, making content with him, and he had fucker nuggets over there helping him out, which is even worse. But yeah, this was hard to watch because, oh my god, all the themes in here just traumatized me. I don't know if I'll be able to sleep after tonight. But I hope you guys like my react to it. Click that like, share the video, leave a comment below, hit subscribe. Go subscribe to my other channels. My one channel, I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers, so go check that out. It'll be in the detail and on the end card. As always, I love each and every one of you. Hope you're all safe, healthy, and happy. Peace and love.